Hello, mate. It's me, Rusty the Sports Clown. Just kidding, I don't speak French. Check me out, it's gonna be so much fun. See ya.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Coach Jeff Mills, the new coach at Sports and Wellness Athletic Training. And Coach, thanks for coming on.
Thanks, Steve. Great to be here.
You know, is that your official title, just coach, or are you executive director? You caught me off tone there a little bit.
I asked him, I said, just call me coach, because they were talking about, you know, what do you want to be called? And I said, I've been a coach my whole life, so that's what I like to be called.
You know, Coach, you've been a coach. Just give me a little Reader's Digest of how you got to this seat right here in the last.
My background, always wanted to coach, and I was blessed to be the son of a ball coach from the Midwest. My dad, Jay Mills, and saw the impact he had on young men's lives as a young guy growing up. Said, hey, that's what I want to do. And my older brother Jay, he was a college coach for 30 years. Was another great example to me. He was the head coach at Charleston Southern University, really built that program up. And so I've been blessed. I've been able to have a chance to get into college coaching right after getting done playing college ball. And just, a lot of stops along the way, and 29 seasons in. 29 seasons was, last fall was my 29th season, and now I've got a new mission, got a new opportunity with Sports and Wellness as a private coach. It's my first time stepping away from being a university coach after all those years.
Well, everybody likes to have credibility and talk about things, but you were, Lobo's assistant coach, and
yes.
and talk about, how you got to be a Lobo coach.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an honor.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great opportunity, and I came down here to Albuquerque in 1999 to visit for the first time. Bronco Mendenhall is a good friend of mine. He was a defensive coordinator here. I loved what they were doing with Rocky Long.
People don't know he's BYU head coach. So
BYU head coach, Virginia head coach, and he was the defense coordinator for Coach Long at the time here, and a very multiple, the 3-3-5 stack defense. And we were doing a lot of that. We were running the Arizona Desert Swarm flex defense. I was the defense coordinator at Idaho at that time. But we were also using our third down defense as the 3-3-5. So I took a trip down here and saw Albuquerque for the first time, and I remember telling my wife, I said, this is a great place, and had a great visit. In fact, actually played a noon pickup game at the Pit. I was very impressed by the Lobo.
The Pit's pretty impressive.
Very impressive.
You got to play pickup. You got to play in the Pit.
I got to play.
You got to step on the court, man.
With my lack of ball skills, I know compared to your great skills, I stayed out on the perimeter, let me say. But what was impressive during that day, playing hoops with that staff, that was a big coaching staff. And I remember one of our coaches with me at the time, he told me, I'm going to go show these guys how to play. This is Idaho defensive staff. I'm going to show these guys how to play a pickup game. And so I stayed a little bit longer talking football with Bronco, and so I got there a little late for the noon pickup game. I started walking down it was the ramp right there before it got, the new revision. And I walked down, and here's this coach who told me he was going to show the Lobo coaches how to play. He's coming up the pit with a bloody nose. I go, you really showed them, didn't you? And so we played. We had a great visit.
Well, you can say what you want to. Basketball is a physical sport. I mean, it's more physical. I mean, football's a, grind out, pads on and everything. But you're bare naked when you're playing basketball.
And that staff, for their offensive line coach and everybody was on that staff at the time, there's some big guys. So I stayed out on the perimeter. I used my judgment,
So you know your role.
I knew my role, exactly. And
it was half court. You played a little half court, and you go up and down.
I played a little defense. I went up. We got the heart going a little bit,
Right.
And but I told my wife, I said, this is a great place, and kept that in my mind. And then a couple years later, I was a defense coordinator in Nevada, and I was really impressed by how the Lobos had played Air Force in the option attack. So I talked to Bronco again. I said, can I come down and visit you again? This was in summertime. He said, yeah, come on over. Well, I kind of picked up golf at that time. I liked golf. I'd heard about the championship golf course here. So I brought my clubs, and I also visited with Bronco about option. It was good because we played really well that fall against Rice. We were playing Rice. It was actually in the conference of the WAC at the time. and I was at Nevada, and we had a good game. So it was really beneficial there. Got a chance to play the championship course at the university for the first time. And again, I came back and said, hey, this is a great place. So fast forward, many stops along the way. I was looking for the next opportunity, as it is in college coaching. You know, they say there's two types of college coaches. Those who've been hired and those who've been fired. And so at that time, I was the latter. And so I was looking for an opportunity. Defensive backs was really my specialty. I kind of zoned in on it over the years. And there was still an opening here on Coach Davies' first staff here. And so I basically answered the call and came down and interviewed and got the job. And then the defensive coordinator at the time stayed just a couple weeks. He actually got an opportunity to move on to Arizona State. So I got a chance to get promoted. So I was the defensive coordinator here, defensive backs coach for the first 2 years, and really made some great friends in this community. And, you know, as it works sometimes in college coaching, it didn't work out as far as where I was at here and the timing of everything here. And so I moved on and ended up coaching out in the Midwest for the next season. Had a goal of being a head coach, and opportunity at Highlands came up 2 years ago. So I answered the ad for that, you know, got an interview for that, and had a chance to really come in and I think lay a foundation that's going to be bright for the future at Highlands with New Mexico kids that are up there now. And so here I am now, you know, after all those years. And, you know, Sports and Wellness knew I had an opportunity to join up with them this winter and, you know, do some private training. And I was like, wow, I never really thought about that. I got a lot of former players that are doing it nationally. Let me take a look at it. And we love this state. We love the people in this state. Just love, you know, living here. And said, okay, hey, maybe it's time to get off the roller coaster of college coaching, put our roots down, put our stakes down, and just be somewhere where we want to be, which is here. And so it's really been I've really enjoyed the regional director, Jim Gay at Sports and Wellness. It really made it really an opportunity that I couldn't pass up, you know, to be able to have an opportunity. He had already put in place a project, a new turf project at the River Point location. And he's just basically said, hey, you take it and run with it. And I'm still approaching this like a college coach. I've gone out recruiting. I've really tried to, you know, connect with all the.
You got the media on your side now.
Yeah,
you
the
got
media.
You got
yeah,
the media.
exactly.
Today you just walked in and met, you know, one-on-one some of the team. They're going to have a little talk with them. And
but it doesn't really, you know, to me every day when I've gone out there coaching now in the last week, a little over a week, we started training guys. It really, yeah, it shifts a little bit because you're in a club atmosphere. There's a great pool right there. You know, I've got treadmills outside my office, my new office, so I got no excuse to not get my own workouts in. But still going back to where I saw my dad as a young guy, I still have a chance to hopefully have an impact on young guys' lives. You know, I'm encouraging them, hey, academically, you want to go on to college ball? Most of these guys are going to train, probably want to have goals of going on playing college football. I can help them. I can help this area, I think, as far as getting the word out on some of these young men, because sometimes it's unfortunate we do not get recruited the way it should be. I think there's great coaches in this area. I think there's really some really good prospects with great potential. And if I can add to what's already being done, you know, to supplement. And, you know, I had a chance to really research this over the last few months before we kicked it off last week with the training. And I was in St. Louis, and I went to the Elite Sports Performance Facility in St. Louis, and they've trained some NFL guys. And they say, you know what, really when you break it down, there's about 5 to 10% of kids that are really, really committed that are in this type of training. You know, and that's probably what's going to come out. I don't want this to be, you go around the country, there's a lot of camps out there, and there's a lot of coaches that are just bringing guys in for camps. And you wonder what's the goal of it, all right? My goal is for this program is that we will have 8 to 10 guys per position, per age group. So it's elite training, the ones that are really serious about going on to the next level or in the process being as good as it can possibly be in high school. So the 5th through 8th graders that want to do that, the 9th through 12th graders want to do it. And then, you know, yesterday I started our college group. We've got right now 5 young men that are going on to play college football. In fact, one young man's already playing at Coe College out in Iowa. So he's in his 2nd year, coming up on his 2nd year, that are really committed. And it is an all-in approach. So it's not a thing where, hey, just show up here, show up there. No. And I'm approaching it just like I've done all these years. You got to be all in, tap in every day, go to work, all right? You know, I had two young men showed up the other day. They were late. I said, take a lap around the surface, you know, all right? Early is on time is late, you know? So really trying to have an impact, you know, academically, encourage them to go do their work in the classroom, decisions they make off the field, all right? Or, you know, you'll hear me talk about, I guess, as I share with you who's had an impact in my life in coaching. Pete Carroll has, directly and indirectly. I had a chance to work at Washington for 3 years with Steve Sarkisian. I had a chance to work at Idaho for Nick Holt. They were both assistant coaches for Pete Carroll. In the process of the last 14 years, I've had a chance to go work the camps at SC when he was there. When I was at Washington, he got the job at Seattle. Go over there, really an open door to come over there and spend time. Really resonated. Many of the things that he teaches to this day to the pro level is that 4 rules. Okay, number 1 rule is protect the team. You know, what kind of choices you make on a daily basis. In the classroom as a student, all right? Off the field, okay, are you making good choices? Who you're surrounding yourself with? And people that know me know that, hey, I really am into it for those reasons. I want to have an impact on a guy's life. So in this new setting, I don't care if it's in a private setting, if they come train with me from junior high on, I want to see them all the way through the process. They graduate high school, hopefully get a college scholarship and move on. But along the way, hopefully they've continued to develop in their character, strengthen their character, choices they make. But the number 1 rule is protect the team. Number 2 is I love about Coach Carroll's philosophy is no whining, no complaining, no excuses. All right? And, you know, in our day and age, I think nowadays, lots of times people say they make excuses. All right? And you know how tough it is to play college football, how tough it is to play college basketball. All right? And I'm trying to teach these guys, hey, there's no excuses, okay? You get here on time, do what you're supposed to do, work hard, good things will happen. And I want to be around positive people. I try to be a positive person myself, all right, in the energy that I bring. And that's what I always emulated being around Coach Carroll in his practice. You know, to this day, he's fast, moving, and that's how I've always been. Sometimes you just maybe a little hyper, you know, but that's okay. I'd rather be up here than down here. I want people to be around. I want to be around people that are positive, and hopefully that comes about from myself as well. And then the last 2 rules are be early, you know, early's on time's late. And the last one is communicate. Okay, and 4th rule is communicate. And then in this day and age, you know, it's so much with the texting, so much with the, you know, social media, and really getting young men to understand, hey, if I call you call me back. If I text you, you text me back. And let's really work on what it's going to be like in the real world when you have a job of communicating the right way.
Well, Coach Mills, we're going to go to Dave and Buster's top 10 plays of the week, and we're going to come back and talk more about you.
Okay.
Tech. And this one way up to right field. Maybe out here. At the wall. Cannot make the play. And it's a 2-1. And Little could have put this up to left field. And this one gone. It's a 3-run shot by Grant Little. And just like that, Texas Tech right back in it. This to right field. This is deep. That gone. The solo shot for Orlando Garcia. Over first, the line fires a fastball, and this is belted to left field, deep at the wall. Capella can't get there, and it's a 2-run shot for Hunter Hargrove. This one smashed to right field, and it is gone. 3-run bomb, absolutely hammered. And Simpson scores. Bottom half. Square to the left. Montoya still
Coming on the dive, makes the play.
nice play.
Put a star on that one out and left. Still going back. And he makes a running catch in right center field. What a play by Tatum. Put a star in that one.
West Conference play. Who's going to go here? This belted out to center field deep. I don't know. Luis Gonzalez all the way up the wall. This is hammered to left field. Looking up is Grant Little, and it's gone. A 2-run shot, a 3-run shot. Excuse me, for Carl Stajahan. And it's 11-8. How about the 11th bomb this year for Carl Stajahan? On the fire, and this one is blasted deep to center. All the way back at the wall, and it's a solo shot for Jared Mang, straightaway center. He bombed that baby. And the furthest part of the ballpark, Tom.
Bosque Running Shop understands the value of doing more than selling a product. We educate runners on the importance of proper running footwear and form. Analyzing foot stride, length of stride, arm and hip movements are essential for the right fit. Bosque Running Shop offers running clinics, injury prevention, and self-defense classes, along with a 15% discount for high school athletes. For the best in running and walking shoes, apparel, accessories, and customer service, visit us at www.bosquerunningshop.com.
Hey Lobo fans, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Samantha.
Jaguar Land Rover Albuquerque has been a family-owned business since 1988. The 2017 Jaguar F-Pace has been named the winner of the 2017 World Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year.
Land Rover's signature terrain response system is flawless against any curveball New Mexico weather can throw at you.
We have a class-leading extended warranty on all Jags and Land Rovers and one of the greatest pre-owned inventories in the state of New Mexico.
Call 505-797-3600 to schedule a test drive.
Hey, welcome back to the Steve Davis Show. We've got Jeff Mills, the coach of the new sports and wellness athletic training. And actually, we have some clips of this facility. Let's pop it up, and pretty impressive. It's
It is impressive.
So I mean,
location.
Give me a good location.
Yeah, corner of Coors and Paseo del Norte. I always tell the young guys, hey, behind the red dinosaurs, you get on to Paseo del Norte. They always recognize that. But Jim Gay, our regional director of sports and wellness, had this vision of this turf project before he ever really realized, I guess, I was available to join forces and start coaching. As you see the video here, we're doing pro combine testing every 2 weeks. So these guys understand what it's all about, and they have measurables too that they can work on. Obviously, it's so important for young guys see themselves making strides, personal records, getting PRs, and then getting ready for the camps that are out there. College coaches do, and you can see the facility in the background. It's a great setting, but we got elite training. We got receivers working there, quarterbacks working there, basically working all positions. What I'm really excited about this coaching staff, we've got a college coaching staff. I'm working with the skill players. We got our new strength coach, defensive line coach just came in yesterday. Brett Bowers, former great defensive end for the Lobos. He's been coaching at Mendocino College. So it's awesome to have Brett here, and he'll do a great job with the defensive front guys and with the strength development of these guys in this program. And then last week, I've been recruiting him for a few weeks now, but Jason Lensmeyer, former great Lobo offensive lineman and former offensive line coach for the Lobos, I think 10 years plus in Division I coaching, said, hey, I'll come train these offensive linemen this summer. And so the guys are going to be really growing and developing, like I said, in all ways if they choose to be part of this. And so I'm excited about that. My son Tyler Mills has been around camps, been around, like me growing up, and he's assisting me as well. So it's fun. We're excited.
Well, you bring up so many points, and let me throw one at you. Is that what I know about football? It's going to the next level. No matter if it's junior college, in Division I, Division II, NAIA. It's every coach is looking. It's about numbers, okay, and this is what is so great about. I'm thinking about all the names you just thrown at me for 29 years. All these coaches that are coming in, they got different stories of different people that they know.
Right.
And for a young man and a parent that wants to see my son know somebody that knows somebody on the next level, this is a great opportunity.
Well, that's one thing I talk about. You know, I basically, you know, the way I get to know everybody is I say, come, you know, follow me on Twitter or Instagram. SWAT Football 505 is Twitter. SWAT Football is the Instagram. And message me, hey, when's the time I can come out, you know, parents and the young man, to do a free eval, some of this pro combine testing we're doing, and show them the complex, go through the program, what it's going to take. Because, you know, as we've said in the past, it's not for everybody, all right? It takes really a special young man that's willing to work, that loves football, that's going to invest the time. And so that's the starting point, you know. But there are so many young men in this community that want to do that. And so I'm excited. And I can pick up a phone. You know, I can make a text. And I have done that already to different coaches, you know, and say, hey, you know. And, I look at, you know, any guy who wants to play here locally for the Lobos, all right? Vince Natali, the recruiting coordinator, is one of my best friends, all right? So that's a great opportunity, all right? I know coaches on the Aggie staff, coaches throughout the state here at Eastern and Western. And, you know, I just came from the RMAC conference the last 2 years as a head coach. So if the guys want to go play in the RMAC, there's
Which is a very tough conference. I mean, people don't realize how. I mean, it's
tough.
It's a tough.
It really is, and there's Division I level players that are there, and so one thing I want these young men to understand, and when they come out, we'll do the pro combine testing and say, okay, here's where your starting point is. This is where we need to get to. All right, we'll get a height and weight, and we'll do everything just like they do. A pro test, a pro measurement on your height. Pro measurement, get an electronic weight. You know, everything we try to do is really exact, as I've seen the pro scouts do over the years. So guys have goals of going on in the NFL, but let's talk about first things first. Let's talk about, first of all, what can you do to help your program, your high school program, or maybe your junior high program. Some of the guys in the suburbs play, or the Yaffle. We got kids from the different ages that are playing. How can you help your team first? All right, get yourself in the best shape you can. For the younger group, 5th grade through 8th grade, to me, it's all about fun and fundamentals, all right? I want guys to enjoy football, because I do, all right? And I want them to learn the fundamentals of keeping their eyes up, okay, protecting the team, number one, doing things the right way, learning how to step, learning how to use their hands, using how to just do things the proper way fundamentally, how to catch a ball, how to throw a ball. Then as we progress into the 9th through 12th grade, we get any more strength development with Coach Bowers, my son, myself. The facility.
Oh, I mean, there's a state-of-art facility.
It's all in there for them, and from speed ladder to jump rope to the hurdles to bags, doing all the things. And really, I've taken
room. I'm talking about sports and wellness in itself. I mean,
it's unbelievable. And so when I was taken around kind of 2 months ago as kind of a recruit myself, and I saw this, all right, and I said, wow. I mean, we got a chance to train. We got sand pit training we'll be doing there. So it's all right there. And it's all, the great thing about the location is we're not going to different places. It's right there with the turf surface now. So guys can get everything done. But it's comprehensive. It's going to be A to Z training. It already has been. So, just to give an example, you talk about what's going to take for a young man to get to the next level. Well, I have an idea because the time I've spent as a college coach. We had a 6 a.m. group this morning, our college group, all right? They had to be there at 6 a.m., all right? So we were out there doing agility, speed dynamics, and we were doing speed ladder. Well, a couple of guys weren't finishing, all right? And a couple of these guys, are wanting to play. I think they are scheduled to play for the Lobos. They're guys are maybe joining as non-scholarship players, all right?
Walk-ons.
Walk-ons, yeah. And I said, you know what? That's not going to fly at the Division I level. It wouldn't fly in the RMAC, all right? You got to start a drill a certain way. You got to finish a drill every way. So, yeah, there's probably guys who are out there just, that are training to applaud. I approach it like a college coach, all right? It's going to be very positive, but it's high intensity because I want them to understand when they get to that point, all right, they're used to finishing a drill. And these coaches that evaluate them, maybe in camps, all right, as they come in and maybe camps or combines, they go, wow, look at that guy. He knows how to do the drill. He knows how to do things fundamentally correct. And look at his effort. Okay, there's one thing you can always control is your effort. That's one thing that I'll talk to all these guys about. When you put your tape out there this fall, these young men are playing this fall for all these different high school programs, all right? what you want to put out there for the college coach like myself, the other guys that watch over the years, is do you have a motor? We always talk about, do you have a motor? All right? Do you play from snap to the whistle? All right? Do you go hard because if you do, even if maybe you lack an inch or two in height, all right, maybe you're not quite heavy enough, they'll look at you and go, well, you know what? Wow, let's take a harder look at this guy, closer look at this guy. He's got an opportunity. It obviously starts in the classroom. They've got to do the work in the classroom. So we're talking about that all the time, making sure they're getting qualified, making sure they're doing above and beyond. And I always talk about we always talk about when I was in Ohio, B's are better. You know, we're looking to try to be B's or better in our classes. You know, and I've already talked with a couple parents that have brought their young men in and train with us. And what happens if his grades slip? I said, well, I'll probably do what I did in the past when I've coached college ball. Is he'll probably be held from practice. You know, and we'll make sure that he's doing things the right way academically. So academics, decision making, and then learning how to practice is really what they're going to really understand out on the turf surface. And then physical development, yeah, you know, you got to be able to get bigger, faster, stronger. Why else would you come to a program like this? But you got it all there. We have it all there at Sports and Wellness to train these guys up.
So you got different age groups, and you went through them. So is this like a daily camp, or is this a weekly camp, or is it, you know, is it sessions? You know, how are you?
The first phase is first phase is summer, and getting them ready for fall camp, getting ready for their season. So it is monthly, and basically what we're doing is Tuesday.
So is it a 4-week plan? So you know, we're used to come in and work on a 4-week plan?
It really is a 3-month plan.
Okay.
All right, and but we go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Right now, that's the offensive positions are working Tuesday, Thursday, and a certain time on Saturday. And then Wednesday, Friday, Saturday is the defensive period. And so we break it both like half offense on Saturday, half defense on Saturday. And the cool thing about Saturday is we do a chalk talk. We do a chalk talk for offense for an hour. We do a chalk talk for defense for an hour. So we'll bring all the skill positions of quarterbacks, receivers, running backs together, and we'll do a chalk talk, and we'll do an hour-and-a-half position-specific training on Saturdays. We'll do the same thing on defense, an hour chalk talk, an hour-and-a-half position-specific training for defense. During the week, on Tuesday and Thursday or Wednesday and Friday, it's all comprehensive. Speed dynamics, agility, strength development, football, position-specific. That's 6.5 hours per week. It's 26 hours a month, 3 months straight. So these guys are going to be ready to roll for their fall season. So that's one phase that's going on. The next phase is going to kick up, and so that's all defensive skill and linebackers. Really create the linebacker group. We got a lot of great linebackers in this group right now training. Offensive skill. But in June and July, we're going to have a 2-month phase doing very much the same thing with defensive linemen and offensive linemen. Defensive linemen working with Coach Bowers and myself. I had a chance to coach defensive line at Idaho and at Indiana State. Offensive line coach, Coach Lensmeyer, coaching the offensive line. All comprehensive, full month training of June, full month training in July, so they're ready to rock and roll for the season. In addition to that, now I got my college group going. The guys are going on to play college ball or are already playing college ball. They're training. They're a little different, okay? They basically are doing the true training for the college program, which involves even more conditioning, you know. Coach Bowers and myself are really like the strength coach and assistant strength coach, and we'll do position-specific drills, but more of that's probably involved with the high school and the youth training. And then we've got private training. If people want to come see us individually, one-on-one, we'll do it one-on-one with them. So it's fluid. It's going fast right now, but I'm excited because just like Jim, our regional director, had identified, and I think I saw with him, there was a niche that really I felt like we both felt like could be met. And again, it's not for everybody, but it's for those ones that really want to invest the time and commitment to be great, first for their teams, for themselves individually, and then we'll see how far it takes them if they want to go on.
Well, Coach Mills, we're going to come back and still talk more about SWAT. I like the name SWAT.
That's right.
Sports and Wellness Athletic Training. We'll come back and ask how you came up with that name.
Okay.
For 55 years, people have bought trucks from Tillery in Los Lunas. We have a great selection of vehicles, the quality service department, and some of the best deals in the state. But most importantly, we found people prefer to buy trucks from people who actually drive trucks.
Tillery is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network, locally owned and operated, located in Los Lunas, right off I-25, exit 203. Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but 2 great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill. Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today. Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We have special guest today is Jeff Mills, and starting the SWAT, and you know, I wanted to come back to that, and that's, if I see that correctly, it's sports and wellness, athletic training.
Yeah, you know, you got to have a logo. You know, you got to have a name that really captures people's attention, I think, and again, the people at Sports and Wellness, I'd like to take credit, but I'm not going to. The marketing people came up with this, and I go, wow, that's a great name. And so far, obviously, respect, obviously, for SWAT members, that name, you know, I did a little research on that, Special Weapons and Tactics. I didn't realize that's what it stood for. I've just always had great respect for the men of enforcement that have done that. But it means, you know, different. Obviously, it means for us, we are going to be doing athlete training. It's not just football, it's going to be all sports, okay? So as we move forward, progress.
We got through August, we got through the deal, so you know, and football season starts, Yaffle starts.
Yes.
Everything's going.
Everybody's going to be busy with their seasons, and it's going to be fun to go out and watch these young men out play for their different teams. That's one thing I told those young men. I'm going to go out and watch them and see what they're doing.
Do a little color, maybe, you know.
Love do color, broadcast, help out with, you know, whatever we can do. These guys are going to work hard, and I want to go out there and watch them perform. And then we want to do it on a basis of probably Sundays and Wednesday nights, do a you know, training, more of on a limited basis during the fall. But one thing I'm excited about is on Sunday afternoons, probably doing a post-game recovery, pool work out the lactic acid, just like they do in the NFL. It's going to be really a cutting-edge program I think we're going to do, Coach Bowers and myself. The guys will really enjoy. Take a look at what they did, what they think they need to work on individually, get out on the turf, work on some of their linebacker, work on their drops, maybe a quarterback, work on some throws he felt like he missed. It'll be a little bit more individual.
Well, I have a good place you can get the film because we're going to be doing all the games during the week. Starting with Yaffle, we're going to do 2 games every Saturday, all the way up to the Super Bowl. We're going to do all the Super Bowl 8. I think we're going to do 37 games in a matter of 3 months. But and then we do, you know, 10 to 15 football games during the week. So.
Well, that's awesome. You know, I know the feedback I have from the parents already. They're involved in this program. What a great job you all do. And so what a great thing for this community, for this state, you know. And the more we all can do collectively, people will get even more of an idea, I think, outside the state, what quality talent we have here. And I'm excited about that from a recruitment standpoint moving forward, from what you show and I think what we can develop and call and send out on young men. But I'm looking forward to the other sports too that can come train with SWAT, and develop maybe in the fall.
And that's what I was excited. I mean, you're seeing the bigger picture. I know your passion in your life is football. My passion in life is basketball. I mean, I could go do these, I mean, I'm interested even seeing if I could go work out and do drills with kids and bring them in. And I used to do that at Sports and Wellness on my own time until they kind of threw me off the course because I was getting too many kids in there. But anyway, it's funny with what you're doing. Be ready for it because, and I didn't get to this point, and I wanted to for the last 10 years since I've got into doing Proview networks, and like I said, I'm not a football, but I'm in a way by osmosis I've become a football because we do so many games and on a weekly basis, and you get to know the coaches. It just becomes a family. I feel like a family of the football, all the football coaches, and I don't know how many times I've talked to parents and said, "Oh, we got to send our kid off to somewhere else. We got to go. Why can't we be New Mexico? We're proud of our own athletes." And
right.
I just want to. What you're doing is something that should have been here for many years, and so I just want to applaud you and taking it, and then also to Sports and Wellness to see the value of the kids and what they can do and what they can do on the next level.
No question. And I think that for me, just the way the path has worked out for me personally, my wife Carmen and I, we love being here. We put down roots here, really invest in these kids'
And that's
lives.
something when I first talked to you, I just met you a week, or maybe 2 weeks ago or whatever, and the first thing was, you have other opportunities, and for you to say, hey, New Mexico is my home.
Yeah.
That's another thing that's great because, I believe, you always heard it from Steve Alford that, we are New Mexico. Well, I'll tell everybody right now, I am New Mexico because I was grown here, grew up here. I went to the university, played high school ball, and it's neat to see people with your passion and your energy to come in and see the value of what New Mexico has to offer on a national level.
Yeah, and I think that, for everybody that's watching, understand that, I want to help these young men. Like you said, there's opportunities for them here. I want them to develop in such a way that they go on and have success for the Lobos, for the Aggies, at Western, at Eastern, at Highlands, all these universities here in this state first, and then if they choose to go somewhere else, that's their choice. But there's no reason why they need to look anywhere else. Everything's right here for them. And there's no reason for me to look anywhere else because for me personally, it's right here. And it's amazing how things work out, all right? Okay, I'm a man of faith. I really believe things happen for a reason. My wife works right down the road on Coors, all right? We go to church right down the road on Coors, and here's this opportunity at Sports and Wellness right here on Coors and Paseo. So it all just worked out. It's all right there. And, and so I don't think things happen by accident. And so for me, I move forward. And I'm excited about this. I'm really excited about what we can do. And I'm excited about being involved, trying to help out in any other sports. My son Tyler is a huge basketball fan, and he played basketball at Academy High School. And we went up to the Pac-12 championship in Las Vegas this winter. And so I love basketball too. So as it takes root, SWAT basketball, working with soccer or all these other sports, there's an opportunity at this facility to really get young people involved to develop to their fullest potential. And, I mentioned different coaches along the way that have had an impact on me. I had 2 years, I was at Youngstown State, and I worked for a great head coach by the name of John Haycock. John had been the defensive coordinator for Jim Tressel. And Jim Tressel left a lineage there at Youngstown where they won 4 national championships. So I was there for 2 years, and really I never worked for Jim Tressel, but the things that were passed on, that he passed on, that were still resonating throughout the culture there. And one of the things was RYFP, reach your full potential. There's different young men. Not every young man is going to be a Division I player, but there's an opportunity.
And a lot of them aren't going to be a high school player.
No.
I mean,
but they can realize their full potential and be the best teammate on that team. They can really, in these pro measurables, pro combine, they can lower their time from here to here and really gain their, really gain confidence, I think, as they, for any of us, when we're all physically working out, personally, we all feel better about ourselves. All right, and for a young man to make goals and strides physically, he's going to improve in such a way that, that confidence level will increase. I think they'll have an impact on his academics. It all goes hand in hand, and that's kind of what Coach Trestle's thing was, reach your full potential. Everything that touches your life, the circle of life in your life, I just mentioned some of the things in my life, but every person is different. And what's important in your life for each young man as he's growing up is that they're striving to become all they can be, socially, academically, athletically, spiritually, whatever's part of their makeup, their family background, whatever it takes. I think sports is that avenue, as you know, that really helps to encourage them to develop in all areas.
Oh, that when Vince, again, it's circle of life or whatever, Vince is from Highlands. I met him.
Oh, yeah.
I met him. You don't even know the story. I met him 8 or 9 years ago. For some reason, he has kept in touch with me, and he's been following Proview Networks. If you followed Proview Networks, 10 years ago, it was myself and my family on the internet watching high school sports, and it buffered, and it was poorly done, and I just had a vision with it, kept working with it, and Vince has followed me since that time. I actually did a lot of New Mexico Highlands games, but with a changeover of things that athletic directors, the presidents, and it was a constant turn. I was always reinventing the wheel, and I was trying to get back with you because I thought if you had a long stance there, that it would be perfect timing to get back. We did all the New Mexico Highlands games, and it was a great success. I mean, it's a New Mexico school that doesn't get the accolades for the great people that's put out of that university.
There's some great people at the university, and it was part of my map of where I went in my career. And just think about people like Carol Linder, the vice president of academics, and Ron Garcia, director of career services. Just some really good friends, and that's what
You know what? I can almost tell you, and I could. There's probably off the head. There's 40 high school teachers that come from New Mexico, right in the APS system, and that doesn't include the rest of the state.
Yeah, you go around. We did the satellite camps throughout the state the last 2 years, and and just finding out all the great people in Farmington and Las Cruces, and head coaches at Berlin and at Bernalillo, and I can go down the list. Yeah, there's some great alums
well,
from that
that's what
university.
you were trying to build when you.
Yes.
I mean, that's the first thing I've heard about you when I was talking to you, and I believe it's Archuleta. Coach Archuleta was
Yes.
he was from Albuquerque High, and I met him on the sidelines and actually had breakfast with him. I brought him in one day and at Lindy's and had him come in, and we ate breakfast and met the Vitosios. I mean, it's a funny story how you I'm not a graduate of New Mexico Highlands, but I just the Highlands is special to me because it got two high schools, it's 15,000 people, two high schools, two colleges, and everybody's fighting for the same attention.
People in the community are passionate about sports, and that rivalry is as good as it gets. And and you mentioned Phil Archuleta. Phil Archuleta was a assistant coach for me 2 years ago, and before that he'd worked for Coach Davey and the staff at UNM. Graduated from university, worked as an equipment manager. That's how I was able to get to know him. And he's from here locally. Went to West Mesa High School, and he's coached at Albuquerque High School, coached at Highlands now. He's really putting together a nice resume as a young man, and he's just an example, very passionate about sports, very passionate about the people in the state, and it's going to be fun to follow his career. And there's so many of these young coaches in this area, and that's the other thing I joke about it, but I'm not joking about it. I've got this new office there at the River Point location. They've done a nice job setting it up. Got a nice TV there. Going to have a laptop with video and football. I want this to be a center point where young coaches can drop by and we just talk X's and O's, talk sports, talk football, And if I can help young coaches advance in any way, and I was really proud of the young coaches we had at Highlands that have gone on, like Ja'Cory Greer. Ja'Cory Greer was a co-captain here with the Lobos, academic All-American. He was my defensive line coach the last 2 years with the at Highlands. He's now at Abilene Christian, along with Deron Montgomery. Deron Montgomery is our offensive coordinator, receivers coach. They're both at Abilene Christian on the new staff there. And it's fun. You know, it's really fun to see young coaches go off on their journey. And I'm excited to follow Phil. And if I can help out any of these young coaches along the way, and it's really neat to see a young guy go from an assistant coach at a certain high school here locally. You look at the coaches in this area. I mean, at Rio Rancho and Cleveland and La Cueva and I think to St. Pius, and you just go on down, El Dorado. I don't want to leave anybody out because there's so many great coaches, and they're training up young coaches. And again, just like trying to help being a supplement to the players, if I can help out in any way to these young coaches, I plan on having clinics. Yaffle. I want to have a clinic eventually for Yaffle. We've talked about doing a combine someday. You know, that'd be great to do a combine again for the players. But if I can help any of the young coaches, my door is always open. Love that people know me. I love to talk football.
Well, Coach, we're going to come back and we're going to talk more football. You got me excited, so we're going to come back. We got one more segment, and we're going to come back and we'll see if you can get it all in the next segment.
Awesome. I'll try.
Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no hassle water park parties, and much more.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. Coach Mills, SWAT. The SWAT, I'm not saying the SWAT team, I'm just saying the SWAT. I mean,
SWAT.
The SWAT, and sports and wellness at the corner of Paseo and Coors.
Coors.
Can't miss it. You're driving on the freeway, it's right over to the deals. It's got the nice swimming pools, got the nice, your facility's got state-of-the-art equipment in it. Hey, you're blessed a little bit. I mean,
I really am.
People, you come up with this little idea, and I've always told people this, and you'll appreciate this. And if you really have an idea, everything will come in place as long as you put the effort into it.
Yeah.
And I see great things for what you're doing, and because nobody's done it, not with the people have tried it, but they didn't have the facilities, they didn't have the thing, or they had it. You just like football. I mean, you're similar to me in basketball.
I was waiting this winter for the right opportunity, and praying and hoping that it would be still coaching. Looked at some different opportunities, and it's amazing how things work. I was looking at sales. I was looking at medical sales. Maybe I'll try that out. I got a lot of former players and coaches are doing that. So I was in between jobs, as a lot of people would know in the state. And I answered basically LinkedIn. I looked at LinkedIn and saw an ad posted by Trayvon Moore, as the head of the High Point Sports and Wellness, had posted a thing about new athletic opportunity. I said, So I messaged him, he messaged me back, and he found out who, the background, 29 years as a college coach, sent him my resume, and boom, all of a sudden I'm hearing from the regional director, and it really, all of a sudden I go, wow, so this is what's going to be happening. And it just progressed to the next step and the next step. And I do kind of pinch myself as I look at it, go out there to chance to do what I do every day. And I've sent out pictures to some of my friends in college coaching that are really dealing with a lot of these NCAA rules nowadays have taken away even more time from the family structure. For next year, guys, we're going to have hardly any spring time with their families. And, just the rules, it's just become, hopefully someday they'll go back and give the life back to some of these college coaches because it's tougher. So they see what I have, opportunity here in Albuquerque, the land of enchantment, in sunshine. They see the pool. They see the surface. It's like, wow, what a great opportunity.
I'm gonna make a point, and you're gonna relate to this. And every successful coach has a successful administration that backs that coach.
Yes.
And I just met this, the regional director, Jim Gay, and I'm telling you, this guy is, he's behind you. I mean, he has a vision, which is a tough vision. It's going out, what they say, it's outside the box, and it's not your normal sports and wellness, thing.
Yes.
This is.
Well, that's how he operates.
Because this is opening up, and when I see this, it's opening up something that, and his vision is, it's community. I mean, you're more about, I'm hearing you talking, you'll take anybody in your program. It's not like, I'll take the Northeast Heights guys because they have money, or so cold. I want the guys that just want to go play football.
No question. And I want guys that are passionate about it like I am, and so yeah, it doesn't matter, and I know eventually we've talked about, Jim and I, that, people will come from miles away just to get the training. So, and I'm going to work with people on their schedule. Like the group this morning, we went at 6 a.m. We were scheduled to go at 4 yesterday, but a young man has a job commitment. I said, okay, we'll go in the morning then. So, flexibility, working with it. But you're right. Any great program, college, high school, doesn't matter what level, administration behind you.
Yeah, full. I mean, I'm just going
full.
White belt. I mean, it starts with the
prime time flag football. They've got young men in our program. I was impressed by them, going out and watching them compete a few weeks ago. But Jim Gay had a vision. It was before he ever knew that I was available. So he put the wheels in motion to get this turf project put into place at River Point, and the way he looked at it. So when we kind of put our heads together, thankfully, some of the young men in my background are doing this already around the nation successfully in Seattle, former players, Seattle, in LA, and Phoenix. What I don't know is I really don't know of any former college coach that stepped out. As college coaches, a lot of times we'll go wherever. We'll go to Europe to coach. We'll go wherever to coach, just to coach. All right, but for me to be able to stay here and coach in the place that I love, all right, and yes, outside the box, private coaching as a former college coach, I don't know if anybody really has done that. I actually saw an ad, or not ad, but
I'm pretty intuitive.
I saw a print the other day of a young
to go out and just start and hear me out. And I don't need, it seems like when it comes to football, everybody just kind of, Texas is here. You got Arizona. you got people. It's like a kind of an area. It's how it's been explained to me when I was being recruited to play deal. It's like, hey, you're in New Mexico. There's some great players right here that can compete on the national level.
No question, and I'm excited that future vision of this program is.
Or in the state of New Mexico, because there's people don't realize there's I could be off on this. I think there's actually I am, because there's Hobbs Junior College. There's 6-7 great universities right here in the state of New Mexico.
No question, and I think the thing that I want to give these guys is in the off season. A chance to showcase that ability. And so what's become the culture with around the nation, like AAU basketball, is the 7-on-7 tournaments for youth and high school nationally. So our plans for the future with SWAT after the season this winter is we'll go back into the full training mode from December on, the comprehensive thing that we're doing right now. But those kids that really want to get involved with a traveling team, we'll do 7-on-7 traveling teams. First of all, we'll go up to Las Vegas. We'll compete next February in the national tournament they have in Las Vegas. So we'll have a chance to show ourselves. And
you go back to Las Vegas, and like I said, I used to drive it once a week or so or more for almost 5 or 6 years, and boy, they get behind their sports. I mean, and what you're doing being a former coach there and still going back, it just shows how great a person you are.
Well, and I'm going to get around the state for all these places to make this happen. The national tournament will be up in Las Vegas, Nevada. I should just clarify.
Oh,
that's what I'm going to be doing with these guys.
Well,
but for in-state, I would like to get around to Las Vegas, New Mexico, Farmington, Las Cruces, all right, as we do from time to time, like we did before.
Don't forget about my hometown clubs.
No question. And last year,
even though Roan House is gone now, okay. I mean, and Fullerton's coming in. So, but you know, so
everywhere in the state, I'd love to be able for us to do an occasional satellite camp, because you know the great thing you mentioned about Jim Gay and his vision, he hasn't really held me back. He said, hey, if you want to go do passing tournaments, do them. If you want to go out and do satellite camps, do them. And so getting up to Las Vegas again, where people are passionate about sports. Farmington, they really welcomed me the last 2 years when we came through with our team on the way to travel last year to play Dixie. Going down to Las Cruces, we'll definitely get over to Clovis. I can see that being a great vision to spread that and be able to have opportunities. You know, maybe it's sometimes one-day camps just for youth. Maybe it's for, you know, from kindergarten up to 5th grade. But whatever we can do to spread the knowledge, fundamentally, the kids can have fun playing football and eventually other sports that we can be underneath the SWAT umbrella. It is exciting to look at where it can go. I'm
going to challenge you, okay? And I'm big because again, you understand how passionate I am about New Mexico. So I applaud you for taking the kids to what I experienced on the 7th.
Yeah.
Why don't we have a national tournament right here? We have great facilities.
We can
do that. So I'm just throwing that. I know you love challenge. I love challenge. And I'd love to help you get that done, because
I'm with you.
Why are we? You know, we're the 50th poorest state, or 47th, 48th poor. Why are we? Why don't we bring people to us to show how? Because our facilities are better, as good as. I'm proud of what we have.
I am too, and I think that for me, it'll be a chance for me to really indoctrinate myself to go see what it's all about. Because I've got my former players, Tracy Ford in Seattle, who's got Ford Sports Performance, and Reggie Jones, who has Rise Academy. They're out there competing all over the place. All right, but yeah, I'll recruit those guys once you come down here. All right, we'll roll out we'll welcome them, and then we're going to compete.
Because just like once, I always tell people, everybody talks, about Mexico. New Mexico is in the United States. I mean, I've heard this all my life, and even when they had the Olympics, people from New Mexico were, when I was in LA, they go, well, you need to talk to your government before you can get. I mean, that's a true story.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I go, well, we're part of the. Who are you from? I was like that. So, and the people from New York don't really know what New Mexico is about. You come here, and everybody that has coached here, and played here. It's amazing how many people from other states stay here.
No question. And you look at the former local.
Now, with you doing something what you're doing now, it just puts this, the state of New Mexico even bigger on the map, because it's,
Well, you look at Brett Bowers coming in here, just coming back from California where he's been. He welcomed the opportunity to be back in Albuquerque, and he hadn't been in Albuquerque until he came to play here 4 years ago. And you look at so many former Lobo players that are in the area. They're going to be coming out and talking from time to time. I know a guy, the local players like Cole Gauchi is going to come out and talk to our quarterbacks here in a couple of weeks and talk to the offensive players and what it takes to play at the college level. Got Freddie Young going to come out and speak to the defense from Las Cruces, a great family tradition. His family going to come out. I was blessed to be able to have a chance to coach him. But then you look at other former players that maybe they get done playing the NFL, they stay here. And so probably the same reason I do. You look at the people, you look at the just so many talented people, how welcoming people are. And I think that you're right. There's no reason why we can't have a national tournament come here. And so I'm going to learn the process a little bit this winter, and I promise you we'll get that done.
Oh, well, we're going to work. It's not just football. It should be basketball. I mean, it should be.
Yes.
It's volleyball. It should be the whole. All the sports because there's no better weather than New Mexico for any of that.
Yep. And I tell you what, I know a lot of former coaches that have come through here and worked in this state that live other places. I won't be surprised they come back here to live too, because they tell me all the time how much they love their experience here in New Mexico.
Well, Coach, hey, first of all, we ran out of time, but I want to, hey, good luck in what you're doing, and I see great things with it, and if Proview can be part of it, it'd be great too. So,
thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.